Hello students, welcome back after a long time. This English orientation video will help you to understand the format of your SSC board paper, which is of 80 marks. Moreover, it will also help you to understand how much time limit you need to give for each section of your paper. English paper is very simple as far as you have read the textbook thoroughly and understood it. So let us go about understanding in a better way how to gain more marks in English. Your first section is of language study, that is grammar section. This consists of 10 marks. This is how your question will be seen. This is divided into 4 plus 4 plus 2. You have options out here. My best advice to you is, please see that you do all the questions. Much better. In case something goes wrong, you will score marks in the other questions that you attempted. So better to opt for answering all the questions. The first question, number 1A, consists of 4 marks, that is 1 mark each, where you have to do or rather attempt 4 questions. Very simple ones. Do not make mistakes. Do not copy any grammar questions. Write the answers straight away so that you are not wasting time. Second one consists of 2 marks each, a little higher order question. Read your questions very correctly what you have been asked and accordingly attempt it. And finally, third one, you have to attempt any one which consists of 2 marks. Be very careful. When you are attempting, especially question number B1, degree of comparison, do write in which degree you have transformed the sentence. If it's superlative, write there superlative and go on to attempt it. Just don't directly write the answers. That would be better. Except for fill in the blanks and the word chain, do not copy any questions in grammar. You will be saving time on that. Don't take more than 15 minutes to finish this section. Next is your section 2, which is textual passages, that is your scene passages. You have 4 units. Usually, the first passage will be from your unit 1 or 2 and the second passage will be from unit 3 or 4. Each passage consists of 10 marks each, that means the textual passages are of 20 marks together. Again, this is something which you have already come across several times. You have read the passages. Therefore, do not take more than 15, or if you are really prepared with it, it should not be more than 12 minutes each. If you have, the first question will always be in the form of match the column, fill in the blanks, or maybe a diagram, web diagram and so on. Please copy those diagrams as it is given. You may draw it with the pen as the SSC board allows you to do so. The writing inside the web diagram or the match the column must be done with the pen itself. Again over here, do not copy any questions and waste time. Copy the question numbers correctly as it is given and attempt your passages. The last question will always be an open-ended question. Use your creativity, use your knowledge of the chapter and accordingly attempt. Many times you are supposed to write this answer in your own words. So go ahead and do it accordingly. Similarly, the next passage, the pattern is the same. Read the passage thoroughly. Your section 3 is your textual poems, again which you have come across. Therefore, you should not take more than 10 minutes. Reason is because this is just a 5 plus 5 mark question. That is total 10 marks for this section. You have a textual poem out here. Read the poem correctly. Do not make mistakes. Again, the first question will be of 2 marks. It may either come in the form of true or false, correct or incorrect sentence, or as it is given here in match the following, fill in the blanks, complete the followings. Do copy the question here and attempt it. The rest of the questions do not copy, write the answers straight away as asked out over here. The next one, of course, is the appreciation of the poem for 5 marks. The points given out there are only a clue to help you out. Do not write in the point form, you will lose marks. You have to write in one paragraph as it is told out over there. Take the help, write the appreciation with the help of the points, but do not write in the point form. Central idea must be a little bit more in detail since it consists of 2 marks. Write it nicely to gain at least maximum 4 marks out over here, and don't give more than 10 minutes for your textual poem as well as your appreciation. Next is your section 4. Now this is going to be slightly difficult for you because these are passages which you may have not come across. This section consists of 10 plus 5 marks. 10 is your scene passage. Pattern is the same as per the textual passage. The only difference is you have not read this or come across. So therefore you may take a little longer time to understand and read the passage. Probably you should not take more than 20 minutes for this passage. In case many a times you may not understand the passage for the first time, go through the questions. The questions will help you to find the answers in a better way. The same passage will be asked for summary writing. In summary writing, be very careful. A title must be provided and summary must always be in one paragraph. The key points of the passage must be mentioned. Write in your own words. That will help you to fetch better marks. Your summary should not exceed more than 10 to 12 lines. Keep that in mind. Do not write every detail that is there in your non-textual passage. Only the key points, and that too in a hierarchy order, so that the examiner understands that you too have understood it. But title is a must. Do not forget, write in one paragraph. Both these non-textual passage question answers and the summary should not be taken more than 25 to 30 minutes. Please see to that. Don't exceed your time. Next are your writing skills. Now this year you may take a little longer time, but if you are thorough with your format, you may not take time. The first writing skill, which consists of 5 marks, is your letter writing. There is a choice. Attempt that letter which you will be able to write thoroughly. Moreover, format is the must which you should know. Address, to whom you are writing, what should be the content will always be given to you. Follow the pattern, follow the content. Go as per the questions. Letters should not be too lengthy, to the point, since it consists of 5 marks. Here it will be 2 plus 2 plus 1, that is 2 marks for your format, 2 content and 1 language study. So go as per the format. You already know what your format is. Everything comes on the left hand side in the right letter, close to the margin. You have to leave a line after each part of the format. Letters should be written in 3 paragraphs, leaving a line in between after every paragraph. So do follow that format. Don't go wrong. Your next is question number 6A, which is information transfer. There is a choice between from verbal to non-verbal and non-verbal to verbal. Each consists of 5 marks. Verbal to non-verbal will be whereby a paragraph is given and you have to convert that into a diagram. Be very careful. If you're thorough with drawing the diagram, then go ahead. Diagram must be drawn with the pen. It should not be written in the sentence form. It should be either in words or phrases, whatever you write in the diagram. Non-verbal, both the information transfers, whether verbal to non-verbal or non-verbal to verbal, must consist of a title. A title is a must. Usually the title will always be given as a clue in the question itself. So you need not think what the title should be. If you are attempting the non-verbal to verbal, that is converting the diagram, whether it's in the form of web diagram, a bar diagram or a pie chart, or as it is given you in the form of a fact file, then everything information should be in a full sentence form and it should be in one paragraph only. Every detail should be mentioned as given in the diagram. You must not take more than 15 minutes for this particular question. Next, your 6B again is a choice between speech or view, counter view. Speech, I would advise you to go in for a speech. It is a better scoring question since the format is very clear out to you. Title is a must in 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs. First paragraph should be salutation and then it should be the explanation. Speech should be written in the first person. Again over here title is a must. Conclude it properly by thanking each and everyone who has heard your speech. If you are attempting view, counter view, be very sure what you have to write. Whether it's viewpoint or counter viewpoint, again over here title is a must. But be careful because many times students lose marks out over here since they do not understand how it has to go about. If you're sure, yes, you're most welcome. Go about writing it. Again over here, do not take more than 15 minutes for this particular question. Finally is your creative writing. Here it is more of how creative you can be, how much you can write in your own words, how well you can imagine to write it. First question is expansion, or it's a choice between your news report, your report writing. If you're thorough with your expansion, go ahead. It should be either in 2 or 3 paragraphs. First paragraph, please explain what is the meaning of that proverb that is given to you. And then second paragraph, you expand it maybe by giving facts or in the form of a short story. And finally, how this proverb is going to be applicable in one's life, or how does it help us in day to day to be better human beings. If you are attempting the report writing should have a title, should have a byline, should have a date and the place, and finally should be written in either 1 or 2 paragraphs. But the report, please remember, the report must always be in the third person. That's a must. So title, byline, place, date, and of course 2 paragraphs. Apart from letter writing, none of the writing skills do you leave a line. Please remember that. Everywhere else you leave 2 finger space and you begin a paragraph. Again, this question number 7A, do not take more than 12 to 15 minutes. Finally, your 7th B is developing a story or a narration. Developing story, always for both the aspects, the beginning or the conclusion will be given to you. Take up the same statement or the sentence and accordingly write. The only difference is in developing a story, your imagination can run wild. You can be as creative as possible. You can have a humorous story or horror story. A story is just like a story which will be very interesting. The more interesting it is, you will score much more marks. Title is a must, of course, in developing a story. Again, you may write in 2 or 3 paragraphs. Choice is yours. Narration, of course, you have to be careful because it is narrating an experience. Do not write anything that is fantasy or something impossible. Experience should be something which one has experienced or somewhere where one can relate to what you are telling. It should not be fictional. Story can be fictional, but B2 cannot be a fiction. It should be something factual where one can relate. Again, both must have titles. Both must have a proper conclusion. You can provide a moral of the story or you can also give what is the message that you want to convey through your narration. Consists of 5 marks. Again, do not take more than 15 minutes. So class, this is how your format of the paper will be. This is the time limit you have to keep. But remember one thing, at least minimum 10 minutes you must keep to go through your entire paper at the end. Please remember that. Do not waste time in copying any questions. Only where there are diagrams, fill in the blanks, complete the followings. There you will copy the questions, otherwise do not copy the questions. Numbering of the questions, be very careful, go as per the question paper. Do not leave any questions. Try your best to attempt all the questions. Do not answer in a haphazard way. See that the sequence of the question goes in a proper order, so examiner finds it easier to note down the marks accordingly. So I hope students, this has been helpful to you. It may help you in the last moment of your studies. All the best. Thank you. God bless you.